Hey, what's up? Let's talk about neutral. A lot of people have been asking me, how do I improve my neutral? How do I get better at neutral in Dragon Ball? And I wanna see if I can take a shot at maybe expanding some brains out there and getting the thought going of like how you can change your game up. Neutral is just this. It's the beginning. Well, not even the beginning. It's when two people do not have an advantage over each other. There's just all this open space to go around and do whatever as you try to nail a hit. Like the moment you hit them, it no longer becomes neutral anymore. Even if they're blocking it, the moment you hit them, it's no longer neutral. Like if they're guarding all that, it's not neutral. But this right here, round start until you land a single hit, whether it's via assist, whether it's your point character, doesn't matter. Now with that in mind, how do you get better? The key question is, how do you get better at neutral? So like you understand what neutral is now, but to get better at it, this is one of those things where you really, it comes from experience, it comes from studying, and it comes from playing. Or I guess experience is playing, but whatever. Same thing. But no, seriously, like if you don't know, let's say you don't know anything about Goku. You don't know that Goku even has a Kamehameha. This is like week 1 into the game. Nobody's ever played Goku, which would be shocking because I know it's Goku. Why wouldn't anybody be playing this character? But let's say nobody's playing him, and then all of a sudden you get hit by this. And you're like, whoa, I didn't know that was a move. That's what makes neutral hard in the beginning. If you don't know that that's a move, you may get hit by it sometimes. You may be full screen just thinking that you're safe, waiting for him to make a mistake or whatever, and then you get smacked. Well, this is one of those ways that you get better at neutral. It's having that knowledge of what the character can do. This is why you shouldn't really, like when you're playing casuals, your job isn't to try and win. Your job is to figure stuff out. Your job is to try to apply things that you've been learning in the lab to see if it works or not. You want to do a little bit of experimentation while working with the stuff that you do know and making sure that everything comes together nicely, but hopefully by the end of the day you still learn something. You could be playing the game for 2 years in a row and people still figure out new stuff. It's crazy, but it does happen. So, let's go back to the Kamehameha real quick. If he does Kamehameha from full screen and you already know about it and you're waiting for him to do it, I'll have my guy do a backdash a couple times. We'll do that, right? So he's gonna backdash, and then Kamehameha, and you're like, oh crap, I just got clipped right there. Let's try it again. Now, that right there was assuming that he was gonna do Kamehameha from going back like that. And that's just one of the ways that you can punish with Android 21, and it's going to be different for every character. Not every character is the same. Like, if he did it with, if I have Goku and he has Goku and he did that, you can punish with, downward Kamehameha. If she has a bar, if 21 has a bar, her EX ball beats out beams. And a lot of people don't know that, and I started using that a little bit more lately. But if I feel like they're gonna use a beam, or if I see them start up a beam or whatever, and I can get that button out, it will beat them. And that's knowledge and applying it in the right situation. Neutral's not always all about attacks though. Neutral, the biggest thing for neutral is about movement. And within movement, if you don't know, you can super jump and then hold up. And if you hold up, or otherwise known as 8, 7, 8, or 9, you'll float. You see how she lands? So she stays in the air just a little bit longer. That's important to remember. And you can do that and then jump and do it again. You can only do that from super jump though. Another thing that you might want to learn or practice is IAD. I do not recommend. There's a shortcut to doing it, and the only time I do the shortcut is after level 3 with Android 21. But I do not recommend doing the shortcut, which is you hold, I think it's 9 or up forward with pressing H and S. I don't agree with this. Or you can just hold up. No, I don't think you can hold up and press it. Yeah, if you hold up and press it, you just get super dash. There's an option to turn that off. But yeah, I don't agree with that. I think it's a lazy way out, and you're not. It'd just be easier to have that movement on your own without having to use both your left and your right. But anyway, movement is very important. If you cannot IADing instant air dash is 9, then 6. You just tap up, right, and then right. Or if you want to go back, that would be 7, then 4. Now, with movement, you want to keep in mind that you don't want to do the same thing all the time. This rule applies to anything. This rule applies to your defense game. This rule applies to your offense game. You know, to mind games. You never always want to do the same thing, because if you always do the same thing, or otherwise known as autopiloting, you're gonna get blown up from people who know how to, you know, deal with the situation. Let's say you get somebody. Let's have Goku block while jumping, right? Let's say you always do that, right? You drag him down, and then you're gonna Dragon Rush him. Well, hang on, let me fix this. Oh, I didn't record it long enough for it to. Anyway, my point is that he can hit you out of it, or maybe he'll just super dash when you get down. He'll have an answer for you throwing. Maybe he'll backdash and then do 2M. There's going to be an answer for it. And if you always, I fought somebody yesterday in my time. I hate using phrases like today or yesterday because it just, like, it's a video on demand. Anyway, let's say somebody always does IAD, right? Like, you know how they're going to approach you. This is all they're doing, to approach you. During an IAD, whether it's front or back, you cannot block. So if you're next to somebody, you IAD and they 2H you, that's a problem. Or if you're always doing an attack with IAD, whoops. You can, yeah, somebody could just clap you with an anti-air. So your approach in neutral, like that rule I said earlier, don't always do the same thing. That's bad. That is very bad neutral. There's another thing I've been trying to work on myself. I never remember to do it sometimes until I see it, and then I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right, that's a thing. And that's for people who leave the corner. If you have somebody, this is still neutral too, by the way. Even though you have somebody in the corner, like, we're both just standing here. This is neutral. But let's say they're trying to super jump out. and they use some whatever move to get out of the corner. It could be Bardock's spear. It could be Goku's 214. It could be 21's dive out. There's an answer for that. You know, but if somebody who's always going up to the top or trying to jump out and then spearing to get out of the corner while calling an assist, you need to lab and find an answer for that. That will better your neutral, because you know he still hasn't been, even though he's up there in the air like that, he still hasn't been hit, so it's still neutral. Another thing about Bardock's spear, sometimes you'll get hit by that on round start. You know, if he blocks that, or if he gets hit, you know, the moment he blocked that, he's not, neutral's over. It's the ball's in your court because you have pressure. It's not a true round start, so that's when I'm struggling. But yeah, like on a true round start, you can get something like that. You can punish his spear as soon as the game starts. Also, when it comes to neutral, you may want to work on your hit confirming. But well, let me take it one step back before that. Knowing your normals is really, really important. There are guides out there that show you pictures of what your hit boxes look like, or hit and hurt boxes. I don't have a link for that, unfortunately. I do actually have a link for that. I'll try to get it. I'll put it in my YouTube. But it doesn't have GT Goku in there, so I do apologize for that. I don't know where to find GT Goku scans, as I call them. But you wanna know that this move right here by 21, like I know that she has a hurt box on it. So if somebody was to put a Ki Blast out or have like a normal that, you know, they don't have a hurt box on and can touch that, then she's gonna get hit. So, speaking of, I'm not going to touch on hit and hurt boxes too much, but I do want to show you why this is important. And so for here, we're going to 2H Majin Buu's jump H. Majin Buu has a hurt box on his arm. So he also has a hitbox there, but he's in the air. So if you 2H it, 2H is a head invul, or you can't get hit from attacks coming from above. And so you can just slap it. Oh, I forgot his jump H takes a little bit to come out. Alright, we'll do that one right there. Yeah, that's good enough. You see how far back we are? Oh, he's jumping back. But like the 2H dragged him inside. I mean, that's what 2H does. Even though he's all the way back there, he has a hurt box on his arm. And since we're in neutral, and I know that, and if he's trying to hit me with that move, he gets clapped. So, learning neutral, I would say the key points are knowing what your character can do, knowing all of the available tools you have to that character, like, know all your specials. You know, as such. Try to have as much knowledge as possible about your opponent. You know, sometimes people will come from a tournament and they'll just be like, I didn't know the matchup, or, you know, I don't really play against that character, I wasn't ready. You know, that's what happens. Like, you get blown up because you don't know the character, and, you know, that's a reason to lose. Sometimes that's a valid reason on why you lost. But, you know, if you want to come back stronger from that, you better go home and do your homework. Like, you better learn up on that character so that something like that won't happen again. You know, try to fight that character. Try to get it ingrained in you so that, you know, you don't get snuck up on like that. So we are going to, oh yeah, the key points. So movement, how you move around the map or around the stage, knowing your character's abilities and tools and such, and also knowing how the game works. If I've stated something in this video already that you did not know about, then you may want to look into that. Yesterday, I also hit somebody with a move that they were not familiar with. And that again comes from the character knowledge that they did not have until I explained it to them. So, this move right here that she has is head invul. And as I stated earlier, any attack coming from the air, it's not gonna hit her. It's gonna show this. I'll show it when we do it. On the left over there, behind her tail, it says anti-air. If I take that info stuff away. Yeah, you see where it says anti-air? That's a part of the game. That's knowing, you know, that's knowing that you can put a move out there while somebody else is in the air trying to hit you. Some other moves that are like that, or all 2 H's are like that. Cell's perfect attack, the one where he, like, you know, kicks upwards. That's an anti-air property. I believe 16 16's like aerial grab, where he tries to grab you from the air. That's anti-air. All of those are head invul moves, but they all have different startups. Not every head invul move is going to be the same. So some of them can probably get clipped in the beginning of, like, you know, before the move comes out. So yeah, that's really it. All I have for neutral. The most important part is just you're gonna have to play, and you're gonna have to figure out, like, how to dance around the map and, you know, get your way in. You know, it's very easy on a training character to just jump in on them and, you know, start wailing on them. But oh well, I guess that is important. Hit confirming. I was gonna mention that. As you're moving around the map, you're gonna want to know, like, what normals link into each other, or what's a good string. If you don't know your strings, that's something to work on. See, like right here, jump medium and into heavy doesn't work. But if you're playing the game, you always keep trying it. Like, you shouldn't keep. That's insanity. Trying to keep doing the same thing even though it's not gonna work. So if you jump in, get the medium. If you're dancing around the map, let's say he's moving too for whatever reason, you jump in, you hit him with this. Like, he's in block stun, and it's no longer neutral the moment you put him into block stun. So now you need to have a plan of action for a block string if you hit them, and Oki, what comes next? What comes after you're done with the combo, or what comes after you're done with your block pressure? Are you going to call an assist? Or if you hit them and you got the drop on them and they're on slide knockdown, are you going to have some type of Oki ready for them on their wake up? You know, are you gonna put out an attack on their wake up? But yeah, that's neutral. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them for you, and just let me know in the comment section below. So you guys have a great day.